Hi everyone, it's Justine and thanks so much for joining me for another video for Ellen Hudson. I'm going to be working today with the April release and I'm going to be stamping the Leading Ladies Everyday Hero Lady by Brandy. And when I saw this, I thought of Superman or a superhero rushing through the sky, and I thought how cool would it be to kind of have her placed off of the card as if she were taking off. And so I decided to ink this up using a Copic friendly ink here, and I'm stamping her slightly off of the card, but I did want to make the impression that she was flying and not just standing in the middle of my card. So I'll show you how I did that in just a moment. I then went ahead and I knew I wanted to do some masking, so I masked off a piece of the Inkadinkado masking paper here, and I'm die cutting it using the coordinating die for the Leading Lady. And then I just simply peeled the blue paper off of it and then stuck that onto my card to protect my surface, because I wanted to do my sky behind her. Now I'm going to be using a stencil by My Favorite Things called the Mini Cloud Stencil. And so I just made sure that that masking paper was put down appropriately there, and I pushed down on it to make sure that it stuck. And then I'm going to grab some tumbled glass distress ink and a blending tool, and I'm going to go over top of my surface. I'm working on the Tim Holtz glass mat surface, so I don't have to put anything down as I'm working here. I'm able to just go ahead and go straight onto my mat, and it's a nice smooth edge for when I'm doing my distress blending. And I keep twisting and turning my stencil so I get different areas of the cloud, and I'm going in a diagonal all the way down, turning from right to left. But I did want to leave room for a sentiment, so I just put a nice sky background behind her that's very subtle. I'm going to now peel off the mask to reveal the superhero, and you can see how nothing actually went onto her body because it was masked off. I did think it looked a bit odd because it looked like she was standing in the middle of the sky, so I grabbed a Copic fine liner and just added a couple lines like they would in a comic strip to show that she was taking off from the ground. Now came for the fun Copic coloring. Now I'm going to just be coloring using some very simple colors. I used B95 and B97 for the blue here. I wanted them to kind of look more like blue jeans since it's supposed to be an everyday type of hero. So I didn't want it to be like a superficial blue like Superman. And I just went along there and just added the shadows where I felt they would be. So directly under her arm, for example, or in the pleats of her cape. Also underneath where she's standing in front of her cape would be the darkest area. I really like the fact that I've taken a lot of coloring classes. I've taken some from Kit and Clowder, I've taken some from Sandy Alnock, and I think that I have a good understanding of where shadows belong now, and it really is just practice, and same with coloring. I was not a very good colorer for a long time, and it really is just practice. And I wouldn't say I'm the best, I have a long way to go still, but I am enjoying it a lot more than I did. So I colored her cape and her jeans here the exact same color, and then I kind of felt like Superman a little bit here, so I wanted to stick with a blue and red, or Superwoman for that matter. And I'm going to be using some R27, R29, and R39 to get my red blend here for her shirt. So as I'm going along finishing the shirt here, I have to go in with a couple of more details, and just some very fine details, like for example her skin that is briefly showing there between her pants and shoes, as well as her hands here. So I went ahead with some E000, E00, and E11 and to do the skin, which is generally the tone that I stick to, and then I also just added a little bit of N6 to the bottom of her shoes and the pocket area. So after that was finished there, I just gonna go to do my stamping. So I decided to stamp Everyday Hero as if that were her symbol on top of her shirt. I thought that would look really cute and offer sort of a double sentiment on the front of my card. So I went ahead with some black ink, and then I inked that up twice and stamped that onto the Misty. Also new in this release is this pretty strong die that I like. It's so nice and small for a word die, and it's very, very thin. So I'm just going to use a little bit of Tombow Mono liquid adhesive here. I like to squirt a little bit out the top and then sort of drag it across my words here to make sure that I don't get any excess glue all over the sides. And then I'm just going to stick that down onto the bottom of my cardstock there, because I had left that piece open and really, really white, and I brushed off a little bit of that excess glue there with my tweezers. So I'm just going to go ahead and add that to my card. The last thing I need to do now is just add this to my card base. So I'm working on some Nina Solar White 80-pound cardstock, and I'm attaching it to a base that is 110 pound, both the same brand, so it stays the same shade of white. My card base measures 11 by 4¼ a standard A2 size card when it's finished. And that is the end of my card tutorial today. I hope you enjoyed it, and I will see you next month again on the Ellen channel here. So be sure to subscribe if you haven't subscribed yet, and we have some suggested videos for you. So thanks so much for watching, everyone, and have yourself a wonderful week. I hope you're enjoying the new release as much as I am.